On Fresh TV, Tony takes one for the team.
I'm hating my job once again.
Rick Hart calls the play on a footy legend.
We're going to do a steak sandwich. You are.
And the spicy homemade rub to shake up your steak.
Very colourful, very summer.
G'day, welcome to Fresh TV.
Thanks for joining us.
So Jazz, today you're off to explore the brave new world of raw cooking, hey?
Yeah, I'm really curious about this. It's a big thing. So I'm going to go to a couple of places that do raw food and just do a bit of taste testing.
How do you think you'd go if you had to eat every single meal raw, breakfast, lunch and dinner?
I don't know. I think that might be a bit of a challenge, but I'm going to try some of the savoury dishes today.
Yeah.
I'll see how I go with that.
Great. Well, I'm not going to try and fix something that's not broke. I'm going to cook some spring rolls, some prawn spring rolls, and I emphasise, I'm going to cook them.
See you later.
Wow, here we are back at Rottnest. Have you ever wondered what happens here on Rotto to keep the island sustained? Well, I'm glad you asked. I think you'd be amazed to see how much work has been done to encourage renewable energy and making sure the environment here is kept in great condition for the future.
Also do a lot of groundwater and lakes monitoring to make sure that the health of our lakes and groundwater are where they should be and nothing's deteriorating.
The solar farm and this wind turbine generate up to 45% of the island's energy. The Island Authority also has a couple of electric cars. A lot of effort has been put into recycling of waste, including wastewater. And to top it all off, Rottnest has its own native plant nursery.
We collect cuttings, we collect whole plants for root division, and we collect seeds. So they're the three main types that we use for propagation.
Where local plant species are grown in their thousands and replanted around the island to restore the island's natural balance.
Propagated between 20 and 30,000 tube stock at the nursery with those volunteers, and all of those have been planted out on different projects around the island.
So I'm pleased to say the island looks to be in good hands and have a bright and sustainable future. I even think the mainland could learn a few lessons.
So Tim, we're here at IGA. You're the head honcho here. You run the show in the meat department.
Yep.
Now, I'm not after any steaks or sausages. I'm after some prawns. Can you point me in the right direction and give some advice?
We've got plain prawns as well, and we've also got the pre-cooked.
Okay.
So, I would go for the plain ones, and then you're adding your own ingredients
Seasonings
towards them. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
No problem at all. Thank you.
We got about 75 employees working here. You have that aspect of the business, and plus you have the service side of the business, which is the customers. And we love servicing our customers on a daily basis, and what their needs are and their wants, and giving them the best offer.
Like a lot of new age trends, the modern raw food movement started in California. So it's no surprise that Kylie Meeks, the raw food guru I'm about to meet, is a California girl who's made Yallingup her home. So Kai, you started this Conscious Craves range all yourself and now it's really going off.
Yeah, I started in my house, produced in there for about a year and a half, and then eventually I had to move into a proper production kitchen. And now we're moving into an even bigger production kitchen. When I first moved here about 6 years ago, there was no raw food around, especially packaged foods, packaged snack foods.
Yeah. A gap in the market that Conscious Craves is rapidly filling. I've heard a lot about kale chips. How do you make them?
We make a cashew-based sauce, so it's loaded with herbs and spices, and so we mix that all up and we throw them in the dehydrator, and they're dehydrated for about 24 hours.
There's
so
lots
dehydrating,
of flavour in that.
Yeah.
There's sweet stuff too, all made with natural sugars and plant-based ingredients.
Here we've got the acai vanilla snackaroons, the choco pop snackaroons, goji berry spice, and the muesli mountain cookies.
It's such a good texture, like a macaroon.
Yeah.
And Kylie saved the best for last.
Giddy up granola. So this is really great as just a snack, so you can snack on it straight on its own. You want to give it a try on its own?
Yep. Love
and I'll make
snacking.
you up a bowl with freshly made coconut yogurt and fresh almond milk.
I could really get used to that in the morning.
You know, when you switch to this diet, at first your taste buds have to adjust, but you realize, your body realizes, and you start to love it.
Kylie's got the snacks covered, but eating out on a raw food diet is getting easier too. In Bunbury, the Natural Temptation Cafe was ahead of the trend a while ago. They've been around since 1989, serving earthy, nourishing vegetarian food, including raw salads. But now you can try their raw versions of pasta and even bread.
When we were making the raw wraps, that was an interesting phase where we thought we'll offer that to people instead of a bread. And with that, we make our raw wrap that has our coleslaw dressing with our avocado dressing in it. And then we started doing the zoodles, which became very, very popular.
Believe it or not, this pasta is actually zucchini.
So it's like having fresh, crunchy pasta.
Yep. And again, there's definitely no need to deprive a sweet tooth.
So the protein balls are really, really popular, and then we have probably our carrot cake is the next most popular.
I mean, how could you resist? They look so
yummy.
It's food I could eat all day, every day, if someone put it in front of me.
Hello and welcome to Taylor Road IGA, where I'll be hanging out for the afternoon and showing you how to make Argentinian-style spice grilled porterhouse with Chilean pebre. To start off, we've got about a teaspoon of cumin seeds going straight into a mortar and pestle. Really, really roughly grinding this. The only knife work we need to do with this one is chopping up some garlic. Almost roughly chopping this. So straight into our mortar and pestle. And now the rest of the rub is dead easy. So we've got smoked paprika, some thyme, dried parsley, some chili flakes, and of course some salt and pepper in there to give everything lots and lots of flavour. That all goes into the mortar and pestle, and all we need to do now is stir the rub together. So the spice rub, just getting pinches over the steak. Pat it in this side, because we're going to flip it and absolutely coat the other side. They are looking lovely. Now they just need to sit for about an hour ideally. So while these come to room temperature, I'm going to get on to making our Chilean pebre. To kick things off, we're just trimming up our spring onions. Plant the ends, they'll actually grow some new spring onions for you. And we're just roughly chopping this straight in. Half a red capsicum, just a small red capsicum. And again, just roughly chopping. And our tomatoes, because these little guys are so sweet, they just give great base flavour to this. A chili. If you're a little bit sensitive to the heat, what you can actually do is just de-seed the chili. Just roughly chopped, chili goes in. And now the key ingredient in this salsa, coriander. We use a good 30 grams of the stuff. We're not just using the leaves and the stems, we're actually using the root section of the coriander as well. So just roughly chopping our stems and leaves to start. And now to prepare the root section, what you need to do is clear this of all the little furry bits of root, just by using the back of the knife and scraping down, and then slicing it down the centre. And I'm just going to rinse that under some cool running water. That will get all the sand out of the way, and we can roughly chop it and get it in the mix with this. And the last of our fresh ingredients, of course, is a clove of garlic. Lightly crushed and straight in. Fresh lemon, about a tablespoon's worth. For a little bit more acid, some white wine vinegar. We only need about a teaspoon. Plenty of olive oil. A touch of chili sauce, and lastly in with our herbs and spices. So we've got some toasted cumin seeds, some oregano, and a little bit of sugar. They can all go in, and from here all we need to do is get our lid on and give this a really good blitz. Just a little bit of your sale, so salt, in with your pepper. Perfect.
Today's Fresh TV Kitchen is found in a Peter Stannard home. And for more inspirational homes with amazing kitchens, go to stannardgroup.com.au.
I'm going to show you how to make a prawn spring roll with coriander and a really nice chili sambal to go with it. So I've got chili, I've got coriander root, I've got garlic, all chopped up really finely. And now I'm going to put it in a pestle and mortar, release the flavours, and then slowly add in some palm sugar, some lime juice, a little bit of fish sauce, not too much, it's quite strong. Keep pounding. Continue that for about 2-3 minutes to the consistency you want, and you're done. So what I've done is I've bought some spring roll pastry, a couple of coriander leaves, prawn, just break the back, so so it's straight. Place it onto the coriander, fold it each side, and just roll and roll and roll. Wet the end. It's as simple as that. So I've got some vegetable oil in here. It's very hot, and I'm just going to shallow fry these spring rolls. So just place them in very gently. Turn them so they don't burn on one side if it's shallow. And when they're golden, just put them on some paper towel, drain away the fat. We have some prawn spring rolls. One for the chef.
Our pepperoni is ready to go, which means we can get our steak on the grill now that it's come to room temperature. So excess rub comes off and put on some good quality olive oil. Just really just patting this all the way over. And now onto the grill. Be careful, don't go full heat though. It's very easy to burn the spice before the steak cooks through on this one. So for medium rare steak, you want about 3 minutes on each side. For well done, you would say 5, maybe 6 minutes, but it really depends on the thickness of the steak. There's no hard and fast rule. So they're ready to come off onto a warm plate to rest. So we've rested these little guys for about 3 minutes, and all we need to do now is slice, get them with a little bit of pepperoni and serve. And to finish, a couple of little baby sprigs of coriander. Very colourful, very summer. Thanks for joining me at Taylor Road IGA. I look forward to seeing you next week.
So today's adventure sees me taking a train ride. So here we are, Bustle and Jetty, drinks, canapes by Chef Tim on this sensational afternoon. We're going to hang up here for about an hour, then we're going to mingle ourselves downstairs, underwater, to have more substantial canapes and a main course and enjoy ourselves. Plenty of laughs around here. How can you not enjoy yourself? This is great. How's the sunset? It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, here's to you, mate. Hey. She's lovely.
I'm hating my job once again. It's work. Let me explain to you. It's work. It's hard work. There's a bit of sweat coming off there. Lisa's in charge of the jetty and reckons the twilight tours are pretty good.
And it's really different underwater at night, and a lot of people don't dive, so they never have that experience. So how great to walk 8 metres underwater, your clothes are on, you're not getting wet.
Chef Tim sets up outside, whilst people are relaxing, having a chat and watching the sun go down. I went over and saw Amelia and I was like, mate, how's your view? You got the sunset going down there, the ocean's there.
Yeah, we keep an eye on it. It's like Tim back to work, so the sunset. Yeah.
Well, it's time to head down to the big deep blue. Once down, you can see the marine life. It's illuminated with different coloured lights and it's quite the adventure. What I like about it most is you don't even have to get wet. Unlike our diver Gary. Mate, Tim, what a spot. I've been here this afternoon with you all afternoon, watching your work and seeing the amazing food, as per usual.
One of the things that we really wanted to concentrate on is keeping things local, and not just for our local clients, but for the guys that are here from Perth and in the state.
It's been a pleasure hanging out with you tonight.
And you, mate.
I'm looking forward to going downstairs and trying the rest of it.
Absolutely, mate. Good
Thanks.
to see you.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you.
Cheers. I think I'm going to enjoy a few more bits to eat and this amazing underwater view.
Well, Dennis, welcome to our Winning Appliances kitchen here.
Very nice, Rick, very nice. I don't know how you sort of orchestrated this, but it's great to be here. Well, what's this look like? What am I preparing here?
We're going to do a steak sandwich.
Am I?
You are.
Yes. Okay. Let's grind it out. There we go. And same on this one, of course.
A bit of pepper would be good.
Matching. Do you like a lot of pepper or not much?
Yeah.
Where it's well drizzled.
Beautiful. Listen to that sizzle. I understand you've been pretty busy after retiring from footy.
Well, it has been pretty busy, actually, because people think you're retired and you've got spare time. So as a result, I've found retiring actually pretty tiring. I've used that line before, but people do ring up and they've got ideas.
Exactly.
So you meet with them and have coffees. I've drunk a lot of coffee since the football season.
I bet you have, yeah.
So I'm wide awake for this. Okay, my son is around somewhere, actually. You might talk to him a bit later. He's been in town, and that's been great because Just love having him around.
You must be very happy that he's back in town.
He eats a lot though, I've got to say that, so there's a downside to it, but things have been good fun. The family's together for the first Christmas in quite a while.
Now, what about football 2017? Have you had any thoughts on what might happen and who might be the favourites, etc.?
Well, I have, but I'm still reeling from what happened last year. I mean, the Western Bulldogs, that was terrific. I thought they'd have a good year, but I didn't see them winning it.
Yeah.
I had Geelong winning it last year, so I'm not the man to ask. But I would imagine if we're looking forward, GWS have got to be the favourites. Do you agree? You're a football man.
I do, yeah. Look, I think they've obviously got the young talent. They've now got a bit of experience behind them, so they're going to be a danger side, no doubt.
And we like the Dogs. Sydney, their young players very good last season. They surprised me. I didn't think they'd do as well as they did. Their young players let them down a bit in the grand final, but to be expected. It's a big day, so that was a bit of a surprise on the day for a lot of people.
They'll benefit from that too.
That's right, they'll be around. And maybe the West Coast Eagles, if only Natanui was available. With Mitchell coming, I think people probably in Perth still don't understand what a great player of the modern era Sam Mitchell is.
Absolutely.
5 times best and fairest in that side. That says something, doesn't it?
Bit of a coup to get him, wasn't it?
Terrific effort.
What about Fremantle? You knew I was going to ask that.
This is close to eating, Rick. I don't know whether you can take the truth. Can you handle the truth, Rick?
Well, let's
look,
go
I don't know.
Well, you think they're going to improve, but can they improve enough, I guess?
Well, around the 8 mark, Rick, is the best I can do.
I would think that's probably a fair assessment. This is amazing. To me, it looks like an absolute gold medal performance. Well done.
Thank you very much, Rick. Yes, I'm proud of it.
Have you done a bit of this before?
From both sides. No, not really. Only in dire circumstances. I think. Well, I was going to say my wife retired from cooking back in the 80s, as a matter of fact. So she'll be sitting somewhere and saying, "What is that all about?"
You've done well, and I think we just need to find somebody to eat it now. Any ideas?
I think I've got the man. We spoke about him before. My son is lurking. I saw him in the building earlier. So let's get Mark Committee, aka Mark Silver, from the United States, now living in Yokai.
G'day, Rick.
Mark, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Good.
Nice to meet you too.
How are you? What do you think?
I can tell he didn't do that by himself, Rick.
So, Dennis, thank you very much.
I'm gone.
You're gone, and
For him.
I think we might let him hang around at the kitchen a bit and see what he can do. Whether he's got any of those genes or better genes, perhaps.
Better genes. Where did they come from? Thanks, Rick. Good on you. It's been fun.
For more great ideas and recipes, see Fresh in the Today lift out of the West Australian on Thursday. Feeling hungry after all this food? Here's our picks for the week. Starting in the north, and for award-winning Mediterranean-style food, try Zephyr in North Beach. For a delicious Thai meal south of the river, head to Roxby's Thai Bar and Grill in O'Connor. Try the Swan Valley Cafe in Millendon for breakfast, lunch and dinner. Cicerello's has been around for more than 100 years, with harbourside restaurants in Mandurah and Fremantle. Down south, St Aidan's Wines is the perfect place to stop in for lunch when you're exploring the Ferguson Valley. And in Dunsborough, enjoy a fresh, new approach to southwest dining at Piari & Co. And they're our picks for the week. Enjoy!
All right, we've got prawn spring roll.
They look good.
They do, don't they?
Crispy and golden.
And really simple. It's just prawns, coriander, bit of chilli, some olive oil. And if you like the look of these at home, give it a crack.
And we'll see you next week on Fresh TV.
See you later.